Hey everyone, you're watching another episode of Test Chamber on Game Informer's website, the same place that brings you all the great whoopee cushion coverage. I'm your host, Andrew Reiner. Today I'm joined by Kyle Hilliard.
Hey, it's me, Kyle Hilliard.
What was that?
I don't know.
You drunk? What was that?
I was just trying something, all right? I should have run it by you first before we entered the room. I'm sorry.
And our video producer, Ben Hanson.
Conquest.
I like that. It's like we're in
you
church.
like that, but you don't like mine?
And one of our interns, Rapp.
Wow.
Hello, welcome to the show.
Wow.
We're playing Pokemon Conquest.
Flipping the screen, the bird.
Which, is this canon?
It can't be.
It cannot. I don't think so.
Seriously, are you drunk?
Little drunk. Skittles.
I
and
slipped it to him.
chicken chili.
So, Kyle, you reviewed this, correct?
Yeah. So immediately, I have a question from this opening screen. I'm not I like Pokemon. I'm not a huge Pokemon fan. You guys are Pokemaniacs.
Allie and I are Pokemaniacs. Reiner is ancient Japan maniac.
Historian, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
a feudalac.
All right.
A feudalac.
First
That
question.
sounds like a disease.
Feudal Japan Pokemon. Isn't Mewtwo like a genetically altered Pokemon that like they use technology to create?
Is Mewtwo natural and Mew?
No,
Created in a lab?
Mew is natural.
Yeah.
Oh, Mew is natural. That's right.
Mew is
Obviously, then
natural.
Mewtwo is the clone of Mew.
But we don't know if he has like time travel capabilities yet. That could
I
be
don't
in like
think
Pokemon Brown,
Yeah, I
like
guess
a forthcoming game in like 10 years.
I
Pokemon
thought
Brown.
this was concurrent.
This is where it gets confusing.
Yeah, because
Okay.
like I was excited about the idea of playing as like a Pokemon in the past, like feudal Japan Pokemon. That
Yeah.
seems really cool. I'm gonna play as a girl because why not? Yes, that is correct. Yeah, so I was really excited about the idea of playing as playing Pokemon in feudal Japan, and then like as you get into the game, it seems more and more like it's taking place in the present or the near future whenever Pokemon takes place. Like there's like little does it take place in the past or the present? I don't know. I guess it's the present. The more you play the game, it seems like the more it's taking place concurrently.
Ah, thanks.
Cute.
We should note Kyle is playing, and
Yeah.
he role plays a lot as Reiner in every game.
It's really weird.
A female version of Reiner. Okay, let's get it right. Okay, jeez.
Somebody make that cosplay for Reiner.
Ugh.
Ready, set,
Okay,
go.
so we already saw this. So
Land of Pokemon.
Pokemon. So
Wait
we're
a
gonna
second.
go.
Wait a second. Did you just skip that?
Well, that's because we already saw it. That was like the beginning
Oh.
video.
The whole thing?
Yeah,
That was
there was
it?
nothing new in that little intro that we hadn't already seen. In
But
this
we weren't
recording.
paying attention. Now we have no idea what's going on.
I'm clamoring
I
for
don't even
any
wanna be
scrap
here
of
anymore.
story that I can get from this game because I want to understand it. And you're saying that the beginning is really where all the story is.
Yeah.
See,
but
now you can start clicking buttons, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm all flustered now.
Okay, that's Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. So that's your buddy. She's your friend. That guy just comes around and helps you out
Yeah.
sometimes.
Does he have a Pokemon too?
Yeah, they all have Pokemon. They're all trainers.
Okay.
And the thing I like about this opening is they're just like, oh, you're a warlord. Like you just have this region that's yours,
Sure.
apparently. I don't know if it was given to
That
me
makes
or
sense.
inherited or.
So does this take place in the 16th century?
Okay,
Ben Hanson?
We can figure this out right now. Okay, you said that Mewtwo is in the game.
Yeah, Mewtwo's in the opening
So
screen.
then it has to be present day or Pokemon present day.
Yeah.
Right.
And you said that somewhere in the game they talk about the Kanto or some region of Pokemon taking place overseas, correct?
They don't specify a region, but they do say one guy is like, I hear that in a different region they keep their Pokemon in Pokeballs. Isn't that weird? And that really made my heart drop because I was like, I want to know how they kept track of their Pokemon in feudal Japan. I was curious.
So there's actually a fan project online called Pokemon Year Zero. Have you seen this, Allie?
No, I haven't.
And it tells a story of a young oak and some lady, I forget who it is.
Is she a lover?
Could be. You know that oak character.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
So this is fan. It's just fan fiction then.
It's fan fiction, but they're
Okay.
trying to make a game out of it, and it tells a story of early Pokemon where they didn't even use balls yet, when it was still like I don't know if it was like acorns or what the actual device was. There's some like
sure.
natural device that they're saying they used to capture Pokemon in, and then Oak developed the Pokeball. Is kind of the story this tries to tell.
Oak is the mastermind behind the Pokeball?
He's the master ball behind the Pokeball.
Okay. Master Ball. I get it.
This seems like the most confusing game ever made. What is happening?
Well, this is kind of just going through the training of showing you some of the turn-based stuff, the tactical turn-based stuff. It's just telling you how to move. And one of the reasons I wanted to start from the beginning is because I know training is really fun to watch. But seriously though, there's after you go through the training, it actually does give you a little story. Like it gives you like a little, cutscene, so to speak.
But what dynasty is this? What year is this set in? What?
It's
Kyle,
Poke years.
Reiner.
It's not
It's
Earth.
Poke
It's a
years.
different planet.
Is it?
But
That has
I,
never been named.
Okay.
But Allie, go ahead.
Well, it could be right that the Pokemon universe is technically on Earth, Pokemon Earth. If the regions are supposed to be modeled after real places, right?
We should get more into that. So one of the more interesting bits of Pokemon lore is that each region's map in the Pokemon games represents a different area of Japan's coast, except for
Right.
Black and White.
Right, which is after Manhattan, New York.
Right. So it's derived from America, or from Earth. So you could theorize that maybe Pokemon takes place in the far future,
Right.
when our society has crumbled,
Right.
Yeah.
probably as a result of the invasion of these crazy animals.
So all the
called
dreams
Pokemon.
that I've had about riding Arcanine to school are just actually real prophecies.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's just a matter of time. 30% chance. Which brings up another point. So we love Pokemon, but the lore is very, very confusing because
Yeah.
do animals exist in the Pokemon universe? I want to say like at some point early on in the show,
They
showed-
are animals, right?
So they eat Pokemon is
But
the big
not
question.
all of them, because there's like Magnemite. I mean, Magnemite's a magnet.
Could I eat Magnemite?
Oh, but I don't know. He's steel. Magnemite's a steel.
Well, they just use
Pokemon.
him to make steel, like
Yeah.
steel girders and buildings and stuff.
They
made him.
smelt him?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like that. Have you seen that video online with the
Victory.
Venusaur? Right? No, nobody knows what I'm talking about.
I
Somebody
don't
out
like
there
being
does.
a part of this conversation. This is crazy.
Reiner's like going through the booklet to try and just figure something out,
Okay,
anything.
Let's start at square one. This is based on an anime. I don't even think it's in the United States.
This is based on an anime?
Nobunaga's Ambition is?
No, Nobunaga's
Isn't it?
Ambition is a game.
Oh, it is.
It's
like
like
some
a-
old
yeah.
PC
Nobunaga
game,
is
right?
an actual historical
Yeah,
figure.
Well,
but
right.
there's a Nobunaga.
The game,
But there's a game,
right?
Nobunaga's Ambition.
Right.
That's only come out in Japan.
They've re-released it too, right? For different years.
I think there was a Genesis one that came out in America.
So Nobunaga's in this, so it means it's on Earth.
That's a good point. Because
Yeah.
Nobunaga is in the game. He's like the main villain.
Yeah.
But-
Why is he a villain?
Because
Well,
isn't he a villain in real world?
No.
Real history?
He was the guy that unified Japan,
Right.
and
Oh.
well, I mean, he lived a life as a warrior, basically.
Right,
like,
right.
Okay.
took over a third of Japan,
Right.
basically.
So there's the story of the game is you have to take over these 17 regions, and if you
Sure.
take over the 17 regions, the Pokemon that created this world reveals itself and gives you like chocolate cake or something. I don't know. So Nobunaga,
This is my kind of game.
the chocolate cake is I added that. I don't think that really happens, but Nobunaga is going for the same thing you are. You're both. Oh, sorry guys. You're both going to try to take over the 17 regions.
Are you?
So you're going against history in this game.
Yes.
It's like Inglourious Bastards, but with Pokemon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So
That's a
here's
perfect
the stuff
analogy.
that I kind of wanted to. This is the
Okay.
story stuff. See that backpack that guy is carrying?
Yeah.
I was like, that is feudal Japan Pokeball. That's interesting. Tell me about that game. I want to know what your backpack is and how it works. But they didn't do that.
I'm sorry, Kyle.
Okay. So,
I think you just described what it was, though.
I mean, what do you guys think it is? I mean, I guess it could just be a backpack. I mean, there's
looks
a
like a
Pokemon
mailbag.
walking next to it.
Like
Okay.
the Zelda mailbag guy. He's got
Okay,
a
wait.
bag.
Oh.
Dude.
Sorry. Do you
So
want me to
they
read it
can
out loud?
communicate
Read
with Pokemon. Warriors can communicate with
I think
Pokemon.
that's my favorite
Word
part
wrestling.
about it
But
so
that's
far.
that's pretty normal for Pokemon, right? Or do they?
No, you can't
No.
have telepathy with Pokemon
They
unless
always-
it's a psychic Pokemon.
Right.
Okay, of course,
They always
obviously.
talk about like, oh, this connection with your Pokemon. you
It's like
know?
a connection with a dog. Though.
Right,
Okay.
but you can't communicate with them.
Yeah, the connection with your Pokemon is a big part of this because you're like, that's something you're trying to like level up is your link to your Pokemon. Okay,
So-
here's some story stuff. Did you want to?
Oh.
So if anyone in any one warlord, which you are, just suddenly, they don't explain why you're a warlord, but can conquer all 17 kingdoms of Rancy? Anyone?
I mean, if it's Japanese, it'd be Nansei.
Okay, let's go
But
with
I
that.
don't know that it actually is.
Then the Pokemon that created Nancy? Nancy Kerrigan?
Let's just call it Nancy.
Nancy from Weeds shall reveal itself.
Your first Nancy was Kerrigan?
Don't get Kyle started on Nancy Kerrigan.
Okay.
Go home, watch some figure skating?
To the warriors of the land, all believe that this tale is true.
We
indeed.
can read, Kyle.
Okay. Well, Reiner got
go
mad
past
at
all
me
this.
when I moved forward when he wasn't looking.
So
when he was reading the
also
booklet.
battling against all the other warriors in the game, then.
Yes, but they're very friendly. They're
Click the button.
They're very fine. Well, I'm. All the warlords are totally okay with you coming into the region and taking over. Many of them just are like, yeah, you're pretty strong. Here's a handshake
I like
and
that
my
she's saying
entire
Lady
region
Reiner.
that you can rule. Lady Reiner. That was unexpected. I'm glad I went
That's
with that.
my new stage name, like Lady Gaga.
Reiner. Oh,
Yeah.
I like it.
Wait till you see my outfits.
Sensational. So hang on a second. You go around with your Pokemon and you conquer everybody, but it's more like you beat their Pokemon in a fight and they're like, oh, you can have our village, F it.
Yeah, most of them are like,
Huh.
well, I expected you to come take over anyway. And I guess all the
Please don't hurt my wife.
But
guess-
except for Nobunaga, right? He's probably a little bit more mad about it.
that is correct. He has a team of people in there, and he's
Okay.
yeah.
Hang on a second. The big question. What Pokemon does Nobunaga have?
I don't. He has a bunch. They all have a bunch.
Oh,
Okay.
What's the one that he has
How
connection
slow do
with?
you read, Kyle?
I don't know. Maybe someone else should have played. Because I'm just like getting all involved with what's going on. Okay, so yeah, here's your map, and it expands as you move up, and there's more regions up there. So this red guy is he needs to be taken over because he's looking pretty angry.
Hide Yoshi.
So you have a connection with one Pokemon, or can you build connections with multiple?
You can
Pokemon?
have multiple Pokemon.
Is it recommended that you build connections with
Yeah,
multiple?
like it helps your statistics, what have you.
Okay.
How do you catch Pokemon?
You defeat them in under 4 turns.
Oh, so
Oh.
there's wild Pokemon.
There's actually, sorry, let me correct that. There's trainers with Pokemon, and if you defeat them in under 4 turns, they will join your team. So you have a new trainer, new Pokemon on your team. But there are also wild Pokemon that you can like link with, and they'll
Okay.
become part of your like personal team. Lady Reiner, that's great.
Is there a map that you walk around at any point?
No, it's just like clicking from location to location.
And then going right into the battles.
Yeah,
And what are the battles like?
they're like the turn-based, the tactical, grid kind of turn-based stuff.
And the game's developed by Tecmo Koei. And published by Nintendo and Game Freak and all those Pokemon guys, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pokemon is 16 years old. Isn't that
Oh, wow.
crazy?
And
Or the
right now I'm
bizarre.
just seeing characters that were in the original Pokemon games. Does it just stick to those core
There's
characters?
200 of them, and they kind of pick and choose from like different games. and
Gotcha.
stuff like that.
Do they have any new ones?
No.
Do you know what Pokemon created the overall region?
No.
Is it? I'm assuming it's some legendary.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all Squirtle.
Let's see. So
Turns out it was Rattata the whole time.
I made Japan.
I made
like that?
Japan. He's the only one that doesn't just repeat his name over and over. I made this place.
Now,
So you can spin the camera around. That's pretty fun.
just to dork out for a bit, Allie.
Yeah.
So Meowth can speak, and I guess Mewtwo can speak. I
Well,
think those are only two
well,
in the shows.
not all Meowth can speak.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm
Right.
gonna get into
Oh,
here, Hot
yeah,
Shot.
yeah.
So
Oh, I'm
Meowth.
ahead of you, yeah.
I'm trying to remember why he can speak. Wasn't it like to impress a lady, Meowth? And he
Didn't he
taught
like
himself?
get training from somebody or something? He trained with the Grandmaster of Meowth Speak.
I'm pretty sure it's to impress a lady Meowth.
No,
he
I
had to
think so,
act like a
yeah.
human being.
Right.
And it's like, if that's all it takes, why aren't all these Pokemon doing it? I wonder if he had to like cut his tongue like a crow.
Maybe.
Ugh.
I bet it was like that.
Why did you go there?
That's in the band. That's in one of those band episodes.
I'm really uncomfortable with all this.
Sorry, Reiner. What's your history with Pokemon, Reiner?
You put them in a ball, you leave them there until you fight them against other people to win money and badges, and then you put them back in the ball, put them on a shelf or in a backpack, and you're done with them.
Like our grandpas used to do. Not this new age jumping around in a farm bit.
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah, screw farms.
Screw
Oh,
farms.
why is Bidoof in this game? You know the joke about Bidoof, right?
I don't.
He's like the garbage Pokemon.
The
Why is that?
garbage
Well, because like when
Pokemon.
people breed Pokemon, people competitively breed and stuff. Bidoof is like the trash that you give to somebody who just bred you a cool Pokemon. So go catch a Bidoof and trade it for something cool.
Oh, wow.
Fun fact about
Catch a
Bidoof. Also,
Allie,
it's a great word.
Allie's probably more of a Pokemon fan than I am because she knows the new ones. Bidoof, I'm familiar with, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty hit and miss, like past the Gold and Silver era.
Sure.
Even
Well,
though I played
Bidoof
Pearl.
is yeah.
Yeah.
Bidoof.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, Allie,
Yeah.
you stay current. You've played all of them?
I'm still on Black. I started Black like a year and a half ago.
Not a
Better
good
finish
sign.
that soon. 2's coming out.
I know. That's usually how it works. Is I'll get freaked out that a new one's coming out and quick finish the last one. But so I'm on black. I think I'm on like the 4th. I'm about halfway through, I think.
And how pissed were you when the 3DS was announced and then Game Freak announces they did that MF and T's that they do all the time where it's
MF and T's.
Where it's like, oh man, big Pokemon news coming Friday. We're going to announce it on that Pokemon TV show. And everyone loses their mind because they're like, oh, 3D Pokemon, here we go. Let's get ready. And then it was Pokemon Conquest. And it was very confusing. It wasn't even clear if it was coming to the States. Then they eventually ported it. And here it is. But this is after the 3DS was announced. They announced this. And they announced Pokemon Black and White 2, both for the regular DS.
Right.
Which made every Pokemon fan want to pull their hair out, I think.
I mean, it didn't upset me so much because at that point I didn't have a 3DS. So I was like, oh, now I can actually play the games like that. I spoke with a Kermit voice.
Weird.
That was what happened. But it is a little upsetting just because, I mean, I think one of the critiques of the series is that they've done new stuff, but the graphics really haven't changed and it looks the same that it did 16 years ago. I mean, it's different, but
one of the funny things about the game is like the Pokemon sound effects seem like the same ones, like from even the Game Boy, I think.
Where it's just
yeah, like I was like, there's like 4 like spread out among like 150 Pokemon or something like that.
So this is what I love about the Pokemon series is Pokemon fans have been screaming for a 3D Pokemon RPG for so long, and it's always like N64 they're gonna make it, no GameCube they're gonna make it, Wii they're gonna make it, but now we have them because with the 3DS they have to. There's no other way around it, and they have to evolve past the.
They could do it like Paper Mario. They could be two-dimensional on like a semi 3D backdrop.
But that's kind of what they're doing in
obsessed.
Pokemon Black and White. Like they toy a little bit with slightly 3D backgrounds, but it's still 2D sprites.
right. And I actually don't think that the 3D parts work that well. Like when you're on a bridge, it's almost confusing because it doesn't control well.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't it a GameCube game like Pokemon Coliseum or something with the shadow Pokemon?
It was
that 3D?
It was. That's the closest we've got to a console RPG. What the heck was that called? Pokemon
Dark was it?
Gale
Gale of Darkness?
Something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The Dark Knight?
Yeah.
Correct.
Dark Knight
Actually,
Rising.
yeah.
Pokemon Dark Knight Rising.
Yeah. It's next game.
Dark Noctowl.
Ah.
Yeah, so that's the closest I think we've gotten to a console version. I've never done that. I think that'd be a great replay at some point. Is that Pokemon for GameCube that's 3D?
Yeah, we can take a look at that sometime.
Yeah, I would love that a lot.
Just maybe a couple years from now.
Okay.
So I can get this out of my mind. So the back of the box says you can recruit Pokemon, which we've seen.
First of all, Reiner, stop. Pokemon. None of that.
Pokemon.
You just sound like one of our parents when you go Pokemon.
Well, that's an intention is to piss you guys off.
Hey, now, Allie speaks Japanese. How would you pronounce it?
I speak a little. Well, okay. First of all, it's not even Pokemon in Japanese because like Pokemonster or something, which
So
is Pocket
please
Monster.
say that, Reiner. Is it too much to ask?
Nancy Kerrigan.
And it also says you could recruit warriors.
Yeah, those are the trainers, yeah.
And they fight with you?
Yeah, like you'll all go on to the battlefield and have a good old time.
Can you send the trainer out with a sword against like a Charizard?
No, I don't think
Wouldn't
so.
that be awesome in the normal Pokemon games? Pokemon.
Nancy Kerrigan.
If you could just like, your trainer would just like bring a gun or bow and arrow.
I don't know.
No, that would not be awesome.
There was a gun
I'm
in
with
a
you,
Pokemon
Reiner. I'm with
episode
you.
once. It got banned. I don't think they showed it in the U.S.
Wasn't there an episode where the squirrels were like a bunch of thugs?
Oh yeah, the
that's
Squirtle
not
Squad.
banned.
Yeah, didn't they have guns?
No.
They just
The
had
Squirtle-
cool sunglasses.
Squirtle
And the
did
one
not
with the
wield
pointy
guns.
sunglasses became Ash's Squirtle because he stood out because he knew how to buy cool shades.
Yeah.
So did you guys watch that show when it was on the air?
Absolutely.
I had a little sister, so I feel like I
Absolutely.
caught some of it. I have a little bit of an
You
excuse.
condescending
And
son.
there were those Lunchables, right, with like the pog looking things on the back that you could cut out. I was so all over that. I didn't even really. Lunchables are gross, but man, I wanted those Pokemon things.
Pokemon's one of those games that I've spent, I'd say, a quarter of the time playing as I have just thinking about it. I remember when it first hit, I bought like the strategy guide. I didn't even own a Game Boy, but I just studied that and memorized all 151.
Nerd.
Obsessed with it. Oh, absolutely. And I was in like 7th grade, so it's getting on the strange territory.
So what is the tone of this game? Obviously, it's with Nobunaga. I mean, does it get serious or is it all really playful? And
Most of the story is like interpersonal, like among the characters. You know what I mean? So there isn't it does get a little serious near the end, but like I said, like it's weird. Like you go into these, like I don't know if I'll be able to beat this guy. I think I'm supposed to collect a few more Pokemon first, but like when you beat this guy, he's just like, oh yeah, I knew you were coming. Don't worry about it. Here, have my region. It's just kind of like he's
It's a little
totally
bit
cool with this dynasty just coming in and like taking over his region. I guess the citizens are cool with it, like just basing their ruler over one battle between Pokemon.
A more important question, Kyle. Is this a fun game?
I had a pretty good time with it. I don't really like tactics games very much, but I had an okay time with it.
I think that's one of my questions because I've never been a big strategy tactical kind of person. But man, I love Pokemon. So do I want to play this game?
I think you do actually, because you get a lot of the stuff of like the reward of collecting Pokemon and the Pokemon evolving, like which is always fun.
And don't trainers evolve in this one? I think.
Yeah,
I read
they
that
do.
somewhere.
Which is
What?
Yeah.
Does it go to that same screen with a dun 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 dun?
No,
so.
they just kind of it's like, oh, what's happening, and then all of a sudden you have like extra armor on.
Oh, that's kind of sweet.
I was thinking something completely different. Good.
Hang on
Good.
a second.
Like a zits and
You don't
beards
even
and
need
stuff
to,
like that.
go into it.
Hair where there was no hair. Hang on a second. Do they attempt to explain that? Is it a new phenomenon in this world, or is it like, oh, everybody evolves on their 30th birthday?
They give it like a little bit of an explanation. It's like you joined with your Pokemon so good that you have more armor
that?
now. Congratulations.
Do they evolve to look more like their Pokemon?
No, they look.
I would hope so.
Like their armor just gets spikier and taller.
That's cool.
In true JRPG
Yeah, okay.
fashion.
Kyle, stop. What are you doing right now? Walk us through a gameplay scenario.
Okay, well, it's pretty straightforward. Like I just I have these are my 2 Pokemon on my team, and he has 3 on his.
Cheater.
And I can't step in the lava because I don't have fire type Pokemon. Like he has some, so he can jump in the lava. I can't.
Do you like step on your Pokemon to get in the lava?
Do I
Charmander,
step
go in the
on
lava
my
so I
Pokemon to go
step on
in
your
the lava?
head.
No,
Don't listen
I
to
don't
me.
think. Okay.
Does he get a bonus because he's in fire?
So you can like activate something that will like give you health if you're standing in lava. Like it depends on the Pokemon.
So all the elements come into play then.
yes,
Cool.
like there are levels with water and there's levels with poison on the ground and stuff too.
Do they have ghost levels?
Yeah. There's
Oh,
there's
man.
one where like you sort of get like every couple of turns it'll like randomly pick a Pokemon and like throw them into this like little corner where there's like all these prizes and
Shame
stuff.
corner.
Yeah. But the arenas are cool. But the one of the problems I have with the game is like the straight up like me versus another Pokemon wasn't very tactical. Like the best offense for me to take into a battle. The best offense for me to take into a battle is just to like level up my Pokemon. Take in a water Pokemon into a group of fire Pokemon and make sure he's leveled up and just run at him and attack him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not really worried about like trying to catch him from behind or like setting up like elaborate sacrifices. Like it kind of looks like a chess game, but it doesn't play like a chess game. You know what I mean?
And what happens if one of your Pokemon falls in battle?
If one of your Nancy Kerrigans falls in battle,
Mm-hmm.
they're out for that round. Like
Okay, so
they
they
get,
come back afterwards. Then.
Yeah.
Do you lose like half your money like you did in the original games?
No.
Allie, more importantly, if you could be a gym trainer,
Uh-huh.
gym leader,
Uh-huh.
what
boy.
type would it be?
It's hard. I'm a big electric Pokemon fan.
Really?
Mhm.
Rare.
Yeah, I love Plusle and Minun, which are the 2 like they've got the. What is wrong with you?
They're dumb.
They're
It's just like a Pikachu reject.
Yeah, they suck, but they're adorable.
Okay.
I also like what's his name, Manectric, the dog with the. Well, he's kind of like a lion dog.
I don't think. Oh man, I barely remember that
He's
one.
super cool.
Okay.
Yeah, probably electric.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Good choice.
But then I would have to have an Arcanine.
Okay. Big arc.
Naturally.
Yeah. Ben, you like Ghost, don't you?
Yeah, I'd go Ghost, but then I'd throw in 1 grass just to mess with them.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
No.
It'd be so much fun. That's what I want in a Pokemon MMO or an online game. Is just eventually get so good that you can become a gym leader, and then other people have to come to you, and you only have like a certain amount of badges you can give out.
That's
How cool
a
would that
really
be?
good idea.
It's almost as if Nintendo should make an online Pokemon RPG.
And then once you give out all your badges, you have to start over. You have to start a new character over.
Oh, yeah.
To keep it fresh.
It'd be awesome.
I'm going to check the video stats on this one and see how many people just dropped off viewing at that point. That was the nerdiest thing I've ever heard in this office.
Reiner, what kind of Pokemon gym leader would you be?
Probably like elliptical. I don't know. Maybe the rock wall.
Oh,
Here-
yeah.
here
You
we
know,
go.
the rope holder for the rock wall.
Yeah.
Rope holder.
I feel like Brock.
Except
Have his eyes
You
closed
want
all
a
the time.
creeper, yeah, with his eyes
And your
closed.
eyes are open.
And you're not constantly trying to get Pokemon to mate with each other, which was his big thing. He's creepy.
I think in the later anime though, he becomes a Pokemon doctor.
Oh, really?
I may just be making that up, but I'm pretty sure.
So here's what's creepy about the character Brock, Reiner, is in the show, he was always very passionate about the ladies, and he was also passionate about making Pokemon breed. So it took on very creepy tones where he'd jump right from being like, oh, Nurse Joy, whoa, and fall down in true anime style. And then he'd be like, hey, how about we breed those Pokemon over there? This is this crazy, randy guy.
I would be like that. I'd be the crazy guy. I'd be like, Jigglypuff and Squirtle. I'm going to lock you in this room.
You're like forcing them to kiss.
I wouldn't go that far.
This is getting weird.
Oh, jeez.
Getting weird? Have you been here for the last 15 minutes?
Here we go. Let's get to the hard-hitting stuff.
Yeah.
Reiner, if they announced a Pokemon fully fledged RPG for the Wii U, would you put it on the cover?
Absolutely. In a heartbeat. I like the series a lot, and I would love to see something like that. And I'm right there with you guys. Like, why have they not done this?
I almost said I
To a
was
certain
so
degree, I could
excited.
see it would be alienating the fans, spreading it out a little bit too much, maybe. But at the same time, man, everybody wants it. It'd be gigantic.
If the Wii U starts to tank, I feel like that's their ace up the sleeve.
It's Nintendo. They would never do
I would
it.
buy that in a heartbeat.
I don't think they do it. What they're going to do...
I would buy 10 copies in a heartbeat.
That's right. They're still making mint off all these, so they don't need to change it up too much. So I think what they're going to do is they'll have a 3DS version that'll have 3D, but it's not going to be fully online. It's going to be disappointing in some way, but still an improvement. And then with the Wii U, I think they're going to release like a Pokemon Stadium type game, and then incorporate like figures for collectible Skylanders style.
That'd be sweet.
And use the NFC tech in the Wii U. That seems like the best strategy where they can please everybody. But just having HD Pokemon Stadium, I think, would be enough to sell a gajillion units.
Yeah, I wonder how closely the Nintendo team and Game Freak and those guys are looking at Skylanders and just going, son of a bitch, that's a great idea. They could
most
sell
definitely.
so many toys.
Oh my god.
Well, they kind of did it with the e-reader for the Game Boy Advance, didn't they? Where you could swipe your cards. Couldn't you get Pokemon that way?
I never did
tried that. I don't know.
I know there was a lot of Animal Crossing
You
stuff.
could also
with that
print
game.
out stickers from Pokemon Snap,
Mhm.
which was the coolest.
Yeah, when it comes to Pokemon spin-offs, I think we all agree Pokemon Snap is the best.
Oh my god. I replayed that. You can replay it in like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's
Did it
super quick.
Yeah, a couple months ago.
Well, guys, I'm glad you're geeking out over Pokemon and all that stuff, but I'm bored.
Oh,
So I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks again for joining us for a new episode of Test Chamber. I think this is our first look at a handheld game. We'll be doing this more often in the future. And Kyle, Allie, Ben, thanks again, and we'll see everyone next time.
Thank you, Lady Reiner.